Do you guys think that we're ready to start?
Yeah, I'm ready. I just want to see what you do because I want to see the magic.
Right? Okay. So what I figured out so far is that there are not very many places that are doing this.
Okay, I see.
Okay, there's my infinity
Oh,
mirror.
what? What's that?
I think that what I'm going to do is make the end of this list of what the workflow is for creating AI film. That a great place to visit is curiousrefuge.com. Free AI filmmaking inspiration and ideas. And I'm just going to show you what here's a page on curiousrefuge.com that has been the biggest source of learning that I've found so far. That is just their ranking of all the different tools that you might need.
Let me go up again. Sorry. What was that page? You mean Google?
It's called curiousrefuge.com. And I'm going to share this link with you when we're done. I'm going to give this document to you that I'm creating.
Okay, that's good.
So I'm going to write out the steps that I'm taking and send you this document. But this page right here has been where I've found what tools to look up, what to study, what to learn how to use. And they have updated it a few times since I started working on this, but it kind of gives you a hint at what your workflow needs to be to begin with. All these different tools that you can use. So they have tools for text to image AI generation. So if you have a character in mind and you want to come up with a beautiful appearance of that character. Now, for Eddie, this might not be as necessary because maybe you want to just do the artwork and then animate your own artwork. There's a couple different places you can go for that, 3 different places. It's also going to show you the best image to video AI tool, which is by far and away this Runway Gen 2 is the best one for taking a still image and turning it into video.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You can do that?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're going to see how to do it right here. Pika Labs does it as well. I think both of them let you start off doing a little bit of that for free before they start charging you. But, of course, then you get hooked and you start spending a little bit of money. But it's not expensive either. It's quite reasonable. They have text to video. So if you wanted to skip the whole step of uploading images or creating images and just describe your scene and have it play out as video, you can do that also in Runway or Pika Labs. I wanted to call it Pika Labs because Pika is a cool condition for people to have. But no, it's called Pika. Language processing. Oh, so this is they're just suggesting Chat GPT-4. They haven't updated this since Omni. I saw to say Omni right here, Turbo. But but this is just for script making. And then Claude's pretty good too. You guys probably both know about that already. The best AI music tool. This was amazing. This thing called Suno is absolutely mind-blowing music generation tool. So there's that. There's best AI music tool for lyric-based musics, also Suno. This will actually create voices for you, and they're quite believable. It's pretty crazy. AI tool for voice cloning. I haven't had to use this at all, but that's pretty amazing. And in painting, I'll teach you guys a little bit about that too. That's where you can get an image or a video that's almost right, but gosh, you wish that there wasn't a car going by in the background or something like that. And you can take that out by just painting over it, or like this, change the content of a bowl, like some huge part of the composition to a completely different thing. And look how realistic that is. And this is
Is it Photoshop? No, this is
Midjourney.
Midjourney. Okay, I heard of it.
I'm going to show you guys how to use it. It's the one that takes the most babysitting, I think. Midjourney and Runway, out of all of these things. Most of these things are fairly easy to operate without learning any coding or anything like that. So a lot of it it's stuff that you guys can both pick up pretty easily, though. Anyone can pick this stuff up. You can see that this is a great resource. There's just tons of information about what tools to use, and most of them are like freemium software where you can at least get to experiment with it for a while. Here's what I wanted to do is talk to you guys about like the whole workflow of this. Maybe the first thing I should do is show you what I'm working on right now. Here's a video that I'm making in Premiere Pro, which is an Adobe software. But for film editing, you're going to need a software like either Adobe Premiere Pro or Final Cut.
Yeah.
Or free version is the DaVinci Resolve. I think there's a free version of that you can use so that you don't have to buy an expensive software. And what I'm talking about is that you need a non-linear film editing tool, or at least I suggest that you have one. You could struggle through with, do you guys know the difference between linear and non-linear film editing?
Multi-channel clips?
Yes, so that you can stack different, like actually, here we go. Here is my non-linear film editor. So yeah, the difference between linear and non-linear is that, yes, there are all these film clips in a row here, but they're also stacked on top of one another so that I can have, when I get later in here, I can have this film clip overlap this film clip for something.
Kind of like if you wanted to make her, like, let's say raindrops inside the office. So you have raindrops be one video and then the office is the...
All right, so this is the project I've been working on just recently. I'm getting better at this as I go, so you're going to see a lot of weird artifacts and things that throughout this that maybe I'm starting to figure out how to fix a little bit. But I'm going to show it to you. It's only like a minute long. This is a new clip from my story. Show you what I've got so far.
Oh, this is AI, right?
This is all AI. Everything. Yes.
That's so cool.
It's not bad. A little cartoony, but getting better.
Wow.
You must be Grace.
I am.
Pleased to meet you. I'm the director, Madeline. Please come up to my office. I'm so glad you've come.
I want to tell you, right at the first. I realize I may not be qualified for the position.
Of course you are, dear. I've reviewed your resume. What do you mean?
I don't have a nursing degree.
Of course not. I don't expect you to.
I'm only 3 credits short of my associate's degree, however, and I plan to complete it shortly.
What?
Wow, that's very cool. And I can see how maybe to start with you use the AI voices, but then you could voice it over with actual voices for inflection purposes and so on.
Did you were these still images that animated?
No, that's great. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do is to help explain how.
Oh my goodness! Like
it's done. Yeah, exactly. So that's just to give you an example of what can be done, and I can do much better. I was doing better at the end there, and I
but
learned.
Is this
first
the girl at the beginning? Is that something that is that your vision, or you just picked a model that looked like that, or that you created that character? You created that character.
Completely AI generated. Completely AI generated.
But at your instruction, right? that you said blonde
Yeah.
girl between whatever, you know, and then
Yes,
you
I'll
the
how to
the
do
one
it.
that the hostess of the house, that's how, like that's we're envisioning how you envision it, the outfit, the brunette hair,
Yeah.
all of that. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. I'm going to make a list of, all right, so we want to talk about the workflow. How do you start and how do you get to a finished thing? I honestly think that I'm getting faster at this as I go. And that right now it's taking me somewhere around like an hour to make a second video, you know? But it
So,
was taking
sorry,
me
I'm
like,
gonna let you don't I'm gonna shut up because I'm too
you're
excited. I
fine.
have too many questions.
No,
I'll just wait until the end. I'll write them down. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think that you can get down to where it only takes you, 10 minutes to half an hour to make a second of video. I think that's possible. You can get there to make a second of high quality video, so I'm working towards that. But I think that what you absolutely have to do is first off have content. So content's the first thing. And then turning your content into a film script is the next thing, right? Because it's like, sure, you could sit there and read the first page of your book and try to decide on the fly, oh, how do I want to do this? What should I have in this scene and all that kind of thing. But it sure would be easier if it actually looked like a film script. So, for instance, I am turning mine into a screenplay in screenplay format where it actually says interior, dimly lit study at night, has the lines. It tells what I want to depict on the screen, and it tells me how I want the characters to act. And it's a great way to prompt your brain to actually think about, oh yeah, I do think that I need to describe this room a little differently. Maybe it's not a study, maybe it's a library. It makes you stop and think about where they are and what they're doing so that you can describe your images that you're generating. And then it gets your lines all kind of condensed, because a lot of times it'll take 3 pages to tell a battle scene or something in your book, or 3 pages of conversation, but it really needs to be compressed to be a movie, because your book would probably be like a 12-hour movie if you just expressed everything in it. So to that end, I created a custom GPT called Cinematic Scribe. This was an AI that I made using ChatGPT to turn anything into film script format. So I could say, write, and this will be completely wrong as per your novel or your story, but I could say, write the first scene of an adventure movie about a character named Raylan. Where does he come from? What other world? And it'll just sort of start writing it in script format. But this is the kind of format that you're going to get using this. And you can also just feed in many tokens worth of information at a time, because this is developed on the ChatGPT Omni platform. But what you do want to do is upload your entire novel here.
I seen your book. I read parts of it. I read this here and there. What excited me about the movie is that I was able to see what you see. Does that make sense?
Right.
So now I understand the car. Like just seeing that little clip of the character, it just changes the whole book. We can offer this service to other book authors, and we can make them little links in the book that we can create their scenes. I mean, I don't know. That's something else.
Exactly. I totally agree. I absolutely agree. This is cinematic.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's very doable. That's what's crazy about it. It's not like I thought we're going to learn how to code and stuff, and It's like, oh,
No, this is so totally doable. You can do this, and it's not going to be terribly expensive either.
and please send us all the movies you make. That one that you made, I know that was your first one, but it was just like, it was weird because I've heard your story, you know, the book, and it's just, and then you see it, and we're just little, we're all just little citizens. We're nobody. We're not Hollywood studios, but we're producing stuff that it's, you
Right.
know,
Yeah, I'm
picturing what you saw the haunted house look like, you know, and seeing if it matched what it matched in my head. That's what it was cool to see how close my perception of what everything in your book looks like to what it looks like to you.
So it does it brings you up basically this picture of a little film clapperboard, and you can say anything. So you'll see, I don't know, maybe you guys already know this, but there's this paperclip. You can upload any amount of material, pretty much a very large PDF will go in here, and you can say to it, please turn the first chapter of the book that I just uploaded into a film script, and give it any description of things that you want to make sure happen in your film script, and it'll give you something like this. So that's our first step of this content creation. You know, get the software in step 2, you know, have the content, have the software, and then generate your script. And I've just been doing it one little piece at a time because I know the story. I don't need to worry about continuity. Okay, so script generation is the first thing. Then you're going to need to develop characters, like actual visual characters. And then what I would do with that is to use Midjourney to develop stills of characters. So Midjourney is pretty amazing. You do have to have Discord to use Midjourney. It was new for me, but I was able to figure it out. And you know, I'm not much of a program. Yeah, developers use it. Video gamers use it. So it works kind of like a chat that everyone on all of these different chat boards is just sitting here generating images constantly. I'm going to make this a little bit larger so you can see. So this is just some random person out in the world wanted to create this image, right? Or one of these images. It gives you a 4-up every time you use it. So this particular person says a tarot card style illustration of the young man and dapper Smokey. So this is a character named Smokey, apparently. He is wearing an elegant purple suit with matching top hat. He has long hair that goes. So they're just describing it, completely describing it. And the only programming that this person chose to do was this one command here that says --AR. And what this says is, what this is telling it is aspect ratio. So it's 103 wide by 128 tall. Like just like your cell phone screen is 9 wide by 16 tall, like units in comparison. You can use that command to tell it. Otherwise, it'll just be a square image every time. So it'll be square like this person's image, or like this person's image. But look how amazingly realistic some of these Midjourney ones can be. It's AI. It's going to happen immediately. So the only prompt that you really have to know is /imagine on Midjourney, and then you're going to describe what you want to see. But I'm going to give you.
This isn't Midjourney, right? This is
Midjourney on Discord.
I thought you were saying Discord. Oh, got it. All right.
So
Discord is the chat tool that is calling Midjourney.
That's correct. That's their best interface. They do have a new website for Midjourney that you can just go to midjourney.com, but you have to be one of their power users to use the website. It's only for people who have generated more than 100 images. So you have to figure out the Midjourney on Discord first. But it's so much better on Discord for right now because they're still developing the website. Okay. So I'm going to share this with you guys as well. This is my prompting notes. Copy link. I'm going to put that in this as well. Midjourney to develop stills of characters. Notes on using Midjourney. Okay. Okay. That's my document that I reference for how to use it. So this is my workflow for Midjourney. There are all these different things that you can use as programming. That's Grace, clearly. There's all the scenes that I created for that interview. When you create an image on Midjourney, use a prompt in this style for photorealism. So this is raw photo. This is important part of the prompt, highly detailed skin, and you can give it any amount that you want between 0 and 2. 8K is going to tell it to like a 4K movie, like to make it look like it was filmed with the 8K.
Ultra high definition.
Oh, that's right. Ultra high definition. DSLR camera. Beautiful. And then here's where you'll want to put something about the lighting. It doesn't have, I used outdoor lighting and sunshine and spring day when I did it. You want to describe the quality, the film grain, Fujifilm, and then you can do no drawing, painting, digital art.
That's so it doesn't come out like cartoonish.
Yes, exactly. So right here is --no. That's a real command. It's telling it that what follows that needs to be part of the actual the prompt for negative stuff. Should be at the end. Character description goes there. Character description goes there. And you want it to be consistent every time you listen, you talk about that character. And then activity. Now I'm making this complex because I want it to be I want it to be perfect, you know, but it doesn't have to be. You can just talk to it, you know. Describe activity of character, scenery, etc. Okay.
Now, so every time, so all this parentheses and stuff, is that something you learned or?
Yes. Okay. So parentheses, actually what I've learned is that the punctuation, it doesn't care about, but it does help you when you go back to use that prompt over and over again to isolate ideas from one another so that it is still useful. It only pays attention to commas and periods.
Okay.
And I would point out to you that so far we have had great success with ChatGPT character design and having it learn our characters. And when we call for them by name, it returns the same character with the same outfit and so on.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
The problem we're having is the face. That's the only thing.
It's the face. Okay. This can help with that. So here's where, that's exactly what I was getting at too. So CREF here, this is in those notes that I gave you here for notes on using Midjourney. It's --CREF is character reference. So I'm going to go to the Midjourney website where it keeps all of my things I've created. And let's say that I want to use Grace again. Go to my archive. I've got all these images of all these characters in here, right? Like this is all stuff that I've been working on here. But I liked the ones that I wanted to be able to find easily because you can see that there's just thousands in here. So here's the ancient narrator and here's Nick, right? Doesn't that look like Nick? Looks like a familiar person to me.
A cross between you and Tom. Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Okay.
It almost looked like Greg with Spike.
So here's Grace. This is where's the original Grace? Come on. Here she is. That's the original Grace. This is the one that I worked on.
That's an AI or that's a real person?
AI. That's AI completely. So I can even show you copy prompt. Or just, oh, here, I'll open in Discord so you can see where I originally created it. This is the prompt that I used to generate that image.
Right, hold on, let me see it. Raw
So-
Photomon.
And I combined these people that look somewhat like, that look a lot like Guinevere, and we helped, we put all these ideas together to try and come up with somebody that would look enough like her. And a description of it and all that film grand Fujifilm, no drawing painting, and no, the description is just right. I wanted it 9:16 because I wanted to be able to see head to toe. And then it will automatically throw on version 6 because that's the most up-to-date version. So that's the one that we used. And I can go get, oops, wrong direction. Oh no, I'm doing it right. I want to go down to 100. I want to copy the link to this image that I created of her. Copy image URL, because in the prompt that I'm writing over here in Midjourney, I'm going to use that as a character reference. However, I'm putting it in your notes first. So cref http://www.midjourney blah 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 blah, whatever it is that your link is, right? And then here's the other piece of magic is CW is character weight, and it can be anywhere from 0 to 100, like percents, right? So if I were to put in 100, I could describe what I want Grace to be doing and what setting I want her to be in, and she would be wearing exactly the same thing and look like the same person. So why don't we just try and do that real quick? I'm going to throw, that's the image of her, and I'm going to throw that in to Discord, or into Midjourney in Discord. That's the image of her. And I'm going to go grab this prompt, because that's the styling that I want to use and everything, right? Going back over here. So I'm putting that at the beginning. And where did I want the picture of her? I want it right after the part where it says cref. So it's going to reference that image. I hope this isn't getting overly complex because I didn't show you anything simple.
No, we're good.
And then to demonstrate what I'm talking about, I'm going to put a 100 right there. So character weight 100, it's --CW space 100 to make it so that she's wearing the exact same clothes, and it should be the same character. And then I'm going to say, this time, let's say dark cinematic lighting. And I'm going to describe, I don't have to describe the character in this version because we just did it, but I do want to describe the activity. Like what? She's eating a peanut butter sandwich? I don't know. What are we going to have her do?
That sounds great.
Eating a peanut butter sandwich over the sink. And
Old country house.
An old country house. Okay. And I think this is going to work right as I've done it. So I did imagine as my prompt, and it opened up this prompt window, and I just put this text. I'll use that as an example. All right. Now, this is me down here, and it says it's waiting to start because I have to wait my turn. But it'll be pretty quick. It's got 15% done now. So it's pretty quick. And you have to buy some credits to do this at all, I think. But it's like $20 a month or something in that range. I'll have to look at my plan and get that info for you. So here we go. It's starting to form. You see this? Where'd she go? There she is. Oh, and we're done. We're done. So here's the images that it came up with for me.
Okay, that's very cool.
She's wearing the same clothes. She's eating a peanut butter sandwich over the sink in an old country house. And it's pretty much photorealistic.
Amazing. So the key, almost like Midjourney is basically your bread and butter here.
It's the image generation software for absolute certain. Okay, so that's going to be, that's a good example. And I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to say example so that if you guys need to see what happened with it. There we go. Okay. Make it smaller so it fits on one page. Sorry about that. There we go. All right. So the next thing that you want to do is to animate something, right? So to animate, we're going to use Runway.
It is amazing. So what we really need to get good at is all that, I don't want to say programming, but the way he scripts it, you know?
Yeah.
So he sent us something to you to use as reference, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm giving you guys this stuff too. So it's like hopefully a head start on the things that I had to learn.
Right. So things like you can design the mansion and keep a reference of that. So that from when you return to it later, it looks the same.
Yes. And that is the command --IW for image weight. For something that's not a character, it's the same thing as character reference. You can also do image weight --IW, but that's in let's see. That's too much notes. Oh, okay. It's got mine at the beginning. Yeah, my prompting notes are all in here.
Right.
So you can look up what all that is. Okay, so let's look at Runway real quick. You can also use Pika Labs.
What are we using now? What is this one?
This one's called Runway Gen 2, but it's runway.com. You can go to, I think is what let's see. What does it tell me when Runway? I think it's runwayml.com. Okay. So let's say, and I've used up a lot of my credits, but I'm going to go ahead and do one just as an example here. Here's the different applications they have on Runway. Video to video, so you can change the look of a video if you've already got a video. Text or image to video, that's what we're going to use. And they also have lip sync, which is going to be huge for you as well. And you're probably going to forget this, but try to remember that it takes 2 steps to do lip syncing effectively, because you want to first take your image, and we can just grab an image that I've got from, I would have normally upscaled one of these to be a larger image and then used it and uploaded, but I'm going to use something I've already got. Organization is key, There's the other ones.
That will be our downfall.
Yeah. It's my downfall too. Let's just do one of Nick ascending the stairs here. This is the Nick that I chose. So I'm going to upload Nick. And I'm going to say what he's doing. This part's easy. I can say what I want him to do. I didn't make this the right direction though. I should have made this 16:9, but this is supposed to be a character example. So whatever, we're just going to do it anyway. Walks up hopefully you can see this. Try and make it larger. Walks up the stairs. And you can do just that. There's a button down here that says generate 4 seconds, and that's all you get. 4 seconds is probably longer than you realize, though, but you get 4 seconds. And then after you pay for a certain subscription, you can add 4 seconds. But let me tell you something. The next 4 seconds is not as good as the first 4 seconds. It kind of forgets its original command and just tries to imagine what would happen next. So it's not great. But 4 seconds is actually a pretty long time. You can get a lot said. You can change camera angles and show the same person from another angle after 4 seconds. So that part's simple. And I could just hit generate 4 seconds. But what you really want to do for it to be really effective is to use this motion brush and these camera settings. So I want him to be walking up the stairs, right? So I can pan and tilt the camera. Like I can say, oh, he's walking up. So maybe the camera is going to stay stationary and just track him.
Okay.
So see how that blue square is moving? You don't want to do too much with these, but it's going to do that with the camera. So, it's going to follow him in that direction. And we're going to say he's going to go up in that way. So I'm going to say he's going to the right and vertically up a little bit. And I'll even tilt it a little bit because the camera doesn't want to move up with him. I want it to have to kind of look up at him. But you can go extreme with this stuff, but it gets pretty bad because it's trying to imagine what's happening. And so I've given it a lot of variables. We'll see how well that works. If you want to get even more detailed, you can say, okay, I have 5 different brushes to paint with here, right? So I can say I can paint which parts are moving differently from the others. So his face and hair, I can paint in one color and say, okay, I want his face and I think his whole upper body kind of to be going up and to the right. But his arm might move a little differently. Now, you don't have to get precise with this stuff, but you get better results when you do. So I'm just trying to show you how it's done, And then I'm going to paint his arm a different color. And what did I want? I wanted him to go horizontally this direction. You can just use these too. But not very much. He's just barely going to move, really. And vertically up the stairs that way. He's not going to get any closer or further away. This noise thing, you probably want to leave all the way down because it makes things look really fakey sometimes. And then his arm is going to move a little bit differently. It's going to kind of stick behind a little bit, because he's got his hand on this railing. So I'm just kind of, whoops. Here, I'll leave that in, but you've also got an eraser. I can erase my mistakes. Okay. Paintbrush. All right, I'm trying to make it fairly quick. I want to be reasonable. Now you got 3 more brushes. I'm not going to use them all because I'm trying to get this done. And that is pretty much it. That's the custom presets you can use. It would be okay. Let's do it both ways. I'm going to do it one with all those commands and everything. Hit generate, right? So it's working on it over here. And then I'm going to do another one where I just erase. And you can also auto detect areas if you wanted something to change that way. I'm just going to erase everything with a big brush and see how different it will be when I don't do any of those settings. So I just say, walks up the stairs, breathes heavily, and I'm going to have all this at 0. Which basically just means I'm not giving it instructions about camera direction and stuff. And you have to experiment with that because you never know. You also don't necessarily have to put a prompt here. I've got one, but I could just generate, and it would be like, what's this guy doing? And it would guess, and it would generate something. So do you guys want me to do it with the text prompt at least? Because you'll probably at least do that every time. So we'll do all three. I'm going to use up 12 seconds. I have 235 seconds left.
What? So you pay for the seconds?
Yeah, that's how you buy them. And so
how much is just out of curiosity, how much is like 230 seconds?
Like I'm probably spending on less than $30 a month for like 1,000 seconds or something like that. So it's like,
so it's hobby budget.
Yeah, it's just hobby budget. So it's generating all three of those at once though. And it's already 50% done with the first one.
Wow.
Not too shabby. And when I'm doing this for my movie that I'm making, I usually am over here working on the sound or working on something else over here, which sound I haven't even gotten into yet. But.
And this is Adobe, right?
This is Adobe Premiere Pro that I'm using for that. So since we're talking about waiting for things and doing something else while you're at it, use Runway to animate. What did I say? I said text prompt is most important. I should give you a link to it. It's just runwayml.com. Text prompt is most important. Paint the paint up to 5 separate motion areas, and I just heard it tell me it was done. Camera angles are some of its best renderings. It does the camera movements pretty well, and keep all parameters small adjustments for best results. If you tell it to do something really crazy, it'll look really crazy. It sounded like it was done. Here's Runway. I've got one done and it's still working on the others. So let's see what it looks like. You guys ready?
No.
Me neither. Here we go. Nope, not great. And this happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like here, it doesn't understand what's going on.
Well, it kind of diffused in a swirl the background.
Yeah.
But I understand the mentality of it. So
it was like, how close is this to him? It couldn't quite figure it out. There's a lamppost back there. It wasn't sure what it was. Well, it does show it revealing from behind his head, though. So that one, not so great. I'm going to give that one a 1. Didn't really match my prompt because he didn't try to go up the stairs. Anyway, warping and morphing. Not great.
And you're training it basically at the same time now.
Yes,
so you're giving it training information.
I like to do that. Yeah. Probably a lot of people don't because they figure they're just helping other people out more than themselves. But I figure I'm also getting helped out. Well, at least that's usable. You could do something with that. He's not walking up the stairs. But he does open his mouth to at least breathe. Maybe it would make more sense if I gave it. So this is the one where I did all the painting and everything, right? And then this is the one where I just gave it a prompt of what he was doing.
Or maybe you can just probably type like walk up the stairs, right? That's what he said. What is that one says?
Yeah, I said like walk upstairs, breathes heavily. But what would happen if I just said walk up the stairs? I'm going to stop that one just to use a little bit less processor speed out in the world. And here is the final one. Does that make it large? Yeah. This one, I just showed it the picture, and I didn't tell it what to do at all. Let's see what happens.
That's good.
Yeah, it looks.
I like how the collar moved in the wind too.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Pretty cool.
He still kind of looks like himself. He turns into someone else there at the very end.
If yeah, you grab, is it? Are you able to grab that and say, "I like this"? Can you move the arm?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you could. Now you're going to end up generating another 4 seconds if you do that, but you can, because what I would do is, and I'm not going to use any of those for real life stuff. I'm going to. There is somewhere that you can go and find all your assets that are yours. They're probably in here somewhere. But I'm not worried about it. So reset all settings. I just reset all the settings, or you can just refresh your window. You could take that video, say, you know what I want to do is I want to make his arm move. And you could download it, re-upload it as your content that you want to use. Well, you would just do what I was just doing. You would go in and you know how I remade that? You know, you could work on it the same way. You'll go in and do lip sync the video, and that's where you can upload a video right here. Browse or upload. You want to upload
to make it talk.
And make it talk. But why you want to do the motion first is because otherwise, if you upload an image and have it talk, they're going to stand there completely stock still and
yeah, it's gonna look creepy.
Will move, but that's all. And it looks really, really weird. So that's how you do that. So let's talk about creating audio for people speaking. So for what do we want to call that? Not voiceover, but for voice acting. The best is 11 Labs, and I'll show you how it works. 11 Labs. Oh, I just went to it, didn't I? This goes by the number of characters that you have it generate, and I've got 5,000 left. So you can generate a character. This one's the one that I created for Grace, I think. Yeah, see, it says Grace Sorensen because I gave her a name. So let's try and do one. Should we do one for Nick? We should do one for who? We did Madeline, did Nick. Let's do one for Esther. So there's Grace. She's one that I created. I'm going to make another one. You can go in here and design the voice that you want. It'll be completely unique because you're going to set all of the parameters, and you can also clone voices in here or just draw from their library. So I wanted a female. I want her to be old, American. You can get different accents, not a lot, but a few. And I want her to have a very strong American accent. It gives you a little bit of sample text, but okay, there we go. I've got enough text. Goodness sakes. I just hit generate. So that gives me this generated voice. So that's a great tool there. And then what else do we have? We have music. So Suno is incredibly amazing for music. Suno for music with lyrics. Ava for music experts who want AI assistance with MIDI music. All the music I did for mine was with Ava, and you can actually download that MIDI file that it generates and just put it into any MIDI program. You can choose any MIDI voices that you have on your devices and reapply them, but it comes with thousands of really, I don't know, a lot of them are pretty high quality instrument voices. So cool stuff. I think that's a pretty good overview of what I know about so far. So my subscription is called a Pro account. It says right now I'm paying $35 a month for Runway. That's the one that animates the images.
Okay.
And then Midjourney
Sounds like this whole thing we're talking about less than 200 a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the time because I think we're at like almost 70 for the Adobe suite, but that's the most expensive part.
Yeah. And then you could use the DaVinci for free, which is a stripped down version.
Well, but the Adobe suite we're already paying for other things. I've been doing that for 10 years, so they've got lots of money from me.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Runway, there's $35 a month for that one. Midjourney, I'm on the basic plan with $8 a month. Yeah, $8 a month. Amazing, right? But if you make over 100 images, which won't take you very long to do, you can then use the online version, and you can go in there and rate images. And if you're one of the top 2,000 people to rate images, you're just picking which one of these two you like better, and it's going to give you credit for that. Like, it's going to, if you're one of the top 2,000, then you get more fast hours, like you'll get like more fast minutes. And every single time that I've spent like maybe 10 minutes doing this, like I'll go lay in bed as I'm trying to fall asleep, I'll just be like, yeah, this one's better. I like this. This is more realistic. This is creative and interesting, but man, that looks really fantastic. I kind of like that.
Yeah, I would like to use your prop because one of the problems I have is trying to make things look realistic.
Too realistic? Or
no, I like to make them very realistic, like those that you have up there right now. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, they're really amazing. Yeah. It's like, this is
better. It's better than ChatGPT is done. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it does say that too. It says that if you can use film and photography terminology, that it understands it very well. So anything that you think you can get a good description of, and also just looking at other people's prompts to learn from them. You go into it and just like when you see something that you're like, oh my gosh, how did they do that? If I was really impressed with something, it looks like a real photograph, style raw. That's why, because they used style raw. I should probably do that more often.
Interestingly, you're basically learning in the same way AI is learning, by looking at people's prompts and seeing what the results are and picking the best one and reusing it.
That is
so AI.
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. But of course, it's imitating me to begin with in its learning style. So
it's a circular learning.
Yeah. So let's see. We talked about those two, and that's basically, I think that might be all that I'm paying for. That and I get, because of my job, I get this software for free. So
we're eventually going to have to show you what Eddie's been working on with the software that he's working on for free.
Oh yeah, but it's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's in a different level, but I have learned how to make a drawing, like a realistic looking drawing, and then move it into VR and use my Oculus to walk around my drawing.
Oh, that is awesome.
So what is the software you're using? Unreal Engine?
I'm using Unreal Engine, Blender, and DAZ.
That is amazing.
I mean, I think we can learn. I mean, I learned Unreal Engine on my own, and that's complicated as hell.
You can learn all, and AI can teach it to you.
That's
you
true.
Could probably have AI explain how to write prompts.
It's just a matter of knowing how to talk to the AI so it does what you want it to do, like walk up the stairs.
Yeah, exactly. And try to figure out. And I've on all of the things I've animated, it's taken a while to and several tries. So it's like for every 1 second of video that I actually used, there's probably 20 or 30 seconds of video that I threw out. Anymore, because once you start getting better at it, sometimes I'll get it on the first try and I'll be like, it's not exactly what I wanted, but I like it even better, than what I thought it would do. Or sometimes if I can't get it to work within 5 or 6 tries, and it's not even getting close, I'll try to come up with some alternative, some better, maybe I don't have them walk up the stairs. Maybe I just show them stopping at the top of the stairs and imply that they had walked up.
That's not unlike what a movie director does.
Yeah.
They
Unlike
do a
that,
lot of takes before they find the one they're going to keep.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, so it's kind of like stop and go motion, but something like that, right? Where you can say, okay, if you make a character walk, like if you want to make like the character of Esther walk towards you, how will you do that? Will you actually just say walk and it will walk, or you will do like put one foot forward and then you will record it and then do another one, put another foot forward?
I would literally say she walks toward the viewer. Is what I would say. That would be my prompt, and then I would paint, her probably try first just painting her whole body one color with the motion prompt, and you can change on the motion settings for that color. You could say the proximity is going to get nearer, and
but it will actually walk. It will actually.
Yeah, it'll know. Oh, walking motion. Okay, so she's going to move one foot in front of the other. You don't have to paint each one different. Yeah, I didn't have to tell it how to make her arms swing or move.
So what did you type? I mean, just like curiosity, what did you type?
Grace walks towards the doors or something. I think is what I typed for the motion.
Okay, very very cool.
And then,
oh my god, that's just cool as hell. That's just when I was looking at it, I was like, this is insane.
And I was having trouble getting her to move. I did this with. See, she wasn't actually moving. I just changed the camera angle to make it look.
Oh, okay.
See, she didn't really want to lift her legs, so I just made it fast and moved the camera a lot.
Okay.
But then there was also one where her feet were, but I think I took it out, where I just panned past her feet. But she moved pretty well after I got better at it, so I got rid of those versions in the later take. Another thing I didn't really talk about on the workflows is ideally you go make all your still images and you put them like
on a storyboard
on one layer. See, like here's that car not moving. But if I turn that layer on above, that's the same scene, and I've applied the animation.
And in animation, like when you're previewing animation for the finance people or whatever, it's typically just the storyboards with the audio running underneath.
Exactly.
And then they sub in animation as it gets completed.
Yeah. Yep. And it doesn't hurt to have some Photoshop skills. I don't know if you guys have Photoshop, but like on this, I had to turn this. It had a car here, but it kind of made it look like she was standing up through the sunroof. So I had to Photoshop it so it looked more like she was standing behind the car, like she had just gotten out. Anyway, I've gone on too far, but at the same time, I thought it was a pretty good conversation and fun to have.
No, you did great. I mean, I got it. We got it.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, a lot of exciting stuff to play with.
It's getting late. I'm gonna let you guys go, but I had fun. Thanks for indulging me.
We'll try not to bug you too much. I'm sure we're gonna come up with questions.
I'll do my best to answer you.
Yeah.